Hey y'all, it's Mona. I somehow on my break at work, I ended up in the weird part of YouTube. And as such, I had forgotten briefly, it's probably always back in my mind, that TV show back in the early 2000s, the Swan. Well, at first I was watching these extreme makeover videos, and I'm like, they really did that? And then I found the Swan videos, and I'm like, damn. Well, then, back in the day, the silicone parties were big. Well, oh, sorry, someone's set off their car alarm. It just got weirder from there. So then I saw where this person had been injected in multiple areas of their body with who knows what, and they were having to go through treatments for that. Then I saw a video of a woman who was hospitalized because a fake doctor injected her ass with, and I'm not joking, it was in Miami or somewhere, cement, mineral oil, and Fix-A-Flat. Let that sink in. Cement, mineral oil, and Fix-A-Flat. Now, I'm a horrible person, so I'm going to tell you I find it a little ironic that they used Fix-A-Flat. I'm horrible, I know. If I were a plastic surgeon, that's probably what I would nickname my filler. But it's atrocious. Two, this woman got a secondary MRSA infection and pneumonia from it. Surprised she didn't die. I mean, cement in your ass? Damn. Who the mineral oil, I can't see that either. But, people were using the silicone like you use in your damn bathroom. People are just damn crazy. I mean, if you want a big ass, you need to pay real money for that ass. Nicki Minaj wanting to bees. And maybe it's because I have a big ass, naturally, and big everything else. But, I don't necessarily want a big ass that bad. I mean, there are women that go and they have ass and thigh implants that you're just like, you look ridiculous. Like, it's almost to the point of body dysmorphic disorder-ish. And yes, that is a real thing. It's very sad. That's the other thing that makes me mad about Nicki Minaj talking about skinny bitches, and you was a skinny bitch too. Don't even try to act like, because you talk about, oh, your ass shots wore off. Well, and your ass is soft now. Well, Nicki Minaj, all these other skinny bitches don't have Nicki Minaj money to go and get themselves some ass shots. So, and if you're little in the butt and little in the boobs and little, good on you. If you're big in the butt, big in the boobs, big wherever, good on you. Because we're not cookie cutter. And, I'm sure there's a man out there that will love your flat ass. My man has no ass, and I think his ass is the sexiest thing ever in this world. And he has biscuits for butt cheeks. Flat biscuits for butt cheeks. Just came out of the damn can. Flat biscuits. And he would kill me if he knew I was saying this. But he knows it. He knows he ain't got no butt. I got enough butt for both of us. So, but apparently, I don't know. I just don't understand it. And here I've spent 5 minutes rambling about asses. And if you're offended, I'm sorry, but I just found it weird. And you can look on YouTube. Look, cement injected in butt. And I'm sure you'll find it. That women are willing to die for a big ass is really sad. I mean, to me, that's really sad. You know, I don't know that I've ever once said, does this make my butt look big? Because I've always been fine with my big ass. You know, I found someone who likes my big ass. You ain't got no ass, I'm sure there's someone out there that likes you with no ass. That's like the Swan. There was one woman on there, and she was pretty. She was gorgeous before. I didn't think any of them were ugly before, and then afterwards they all look surprised. And I'm like, they didn't just do your nose. What else did they do to you? And women were having nose jobs, and I'm like, why did you have rhinoplasty? Your nose was fine. But I don't know. I mean, if you were going to offer me millions of dollars in damn plastic surgery, I still would just be like, don't you fucking touch my nose. Don't you touch my mouth. Don't you dare touch my teeth. And don't you dare touch my eyes. Or my cheeks. Or my chin. And I mean, I got a crooked nose. Every time I have fallen off a horse, I've face planted. So I've got a crooked nose. My nose is just fine the way it is. You can totally do some liposuction and brachioplasty on my arms. You can do that all you want to, but if you want to lift up my boobies, that's fine too. But I can't say that if someone offered me plastic surgery that I wouldn't take it, but I wouldn't just be like, while I'm under, do whatever the hell you want to. No. If it was conditional, like, well, we're not going to do this unless you do this, I'd just be like, well, then don't do that. But I have worked a long time on being comfortable in my own skin. And yes, I do still have issues with it. I really do. Some days I don't feel pretty. But, I'm with someone who tells me I'm gorgeous all the time. So, I'm very lucky. There's not women out there that are as fortunate as me. And I know that. And I've also gotten to the point in my life where, I'm like, this is how I am. Whoo! Sorry, I got some serious postnasal drip going on. This is how I am, and if you don't like it, and, you want to constantly criticize me on it, then you need to get the fuck out. Because at the end of the day, I have finally become strong enough strong enough and accepting of myself that I can do this alone. I have friends I can pick up and call on the phone. I have a support system of a wonderful family that accepts me just how I am and who I've always been. And I really feel bad for those women that felt like they weren't good enough, and that's what you heard. Oh, well, I'm definitely good enough for him now. Bitch, you were good enough for him when he married you. You've been good enough for him. Your problems are all your problems. And really, instead of plastic surgery and everything, maybe first you needed a little bit of therapy. And I know I'm being very judgmental right now, but it just irks me to hear someone say, oh, I'm finally good enough for them. Well, they've been with you all this time. Why were you not good enough before? You didn't feel good enough. So that's just one of my pet peeves. If you're with somebody, they are supposed to accept you, the good, the bad, and the ugly. And if they can accept you at the bad and the ugly, then they're worth your good. If they can't accept you at the bad and the ugly, they're not good enough for you. They're not good enough for you at your good. And that's all I'm going to say about that, because I'm getting a little riled up right now. But, ladies, love yourself. No matter what shape, form, color, what kind of hair color you have, what kind of nose you have, what kind of ass you have, what kind of boobs you have, ears, whatever. You know, you're perfect. I mean, even if you're dog ass ugly, you're perfect the way you are. And you don't need to waste your time on people that don't make you feel good enough. You need to spend your time on people that love you at your bad and ugly, because they deserve you at your best. You deserve you all around. You know, I know what's bad and ugly about myself. I have finally, at 32 years old, come to the come to the revelation of who I am and what I'm all about and what's bad about me. And, you know, I'm working on that. I've also come to the revelation of what is wonderful about me and what's awesome about me. And, I'm accepting of that. And I wish I had come to that realization sooner in my life rather than later. You know, I look back and say, oh, I wish I had the body that I had when I was 18. But, you know, I'm 32. I'm never going to have the body that I had when I was 18. You know, I may work at it and have a body that is better than the one that I had at 18, but that's just saggy in a few parts. And you know what? I've had a kid. I attempted to breastfeed and pumped for the first, God, how old was she? 3 to 4 months of her life. So shit's gonna sag. I'm gonna have stretch. I'm a big girl. I got stretch marks. I'm gonna have wrinkles. You know, that's a part of life. I have gray hair that I don't dye. I love my gray hair. I absolutely do. I have no problem with my gray hair. If you dye your hair, great. I see people with, I'm like, you know, I wish I would dye my hair. And then I'm like, I don't really want to. You know, and I have no issue with women that do that. That's your personal choice. If that makes you feel good about yourself, then good. Which, you know, is kind of me being hypocritical, because I'm like, you know, don't go out and get all this plastic surgery just because it makes you feel good. Well, you know, dyeing your hair is one thing. Going out and getting every part of your body worked on is another. Going to the gym and getting healthy and getting fit is one thing. Feeling like you have to change the very exterior of yourself for someone else's approval is another thing. Now, if if that's what it takes for you to feel good about yourself, then that's fine. But don't do it because it's somebody else. That's the point I'm getting here. Don't change everything about yourself for somebody else, because then you're not yourself. And like I said, if they can't accept you for yourself and what you are as you are at that moment, then to me, they're not worth having in your life. So, you know, that's what makes me so mad about, you know, when I read, oh, well, you know, this patient has breast cancer and her husband expresses hurt that he's not a priority anymore. Well, you know, how deep is that going? Are they upset because, you know, you've made him a priority and you've held him on a pedestal, and now you're focusing on yourself because, shit, you have cancer? Or is he upset because you've completely withdrawn to a point where you do need to come out a little bit more and acknowledge that you're not going through this alone? But that's, you know, that's for the therapist to decide. That's not for me to decide. You know, superficially it looks really bad. You know, there's possibly deeper, you know, there's two sides to every story, but, you know, at the same time, you shouldn't, I don't know. It's a lot deeper. But anyway, my thing that I'm trying to get across here is that goes into a completely and utterly deeper subject than just feeling like, oh, I'm finally good enough now that I've had all this surgery. I'm finally good enough for them. they married you, for better or for worse. And one woman on the Swan said, after this process, we parted our ways because we decided it just wasn't going to work. Fair enough. That's good that you all amicably came to that conclusion and that you were strong enough to decide that, yes, it's time for me to walk away. But it should have never, and people have moments of that. I'm not saying that people don't have moments of that. I certainly have moments of that. My husband has moments of that. We've discussed it at length. But, because one of his biggest fears is I'm just going to wake up one day and go, well, you know what? I'm tired of your shit. Get out. I can't be with you anymore. Get out. And that's one of my fears. And we've both expressed that. And we've both laid it on the table. So, and a lot of his problems stem from past issues and him not feeling good enough for me. And my issues just stem from past insecurities and abandonment issues with past relationships. And so, but, I finally am at a place in my life now where I can say, if you can't take me at my worst, you don't deserve me at my best. And I really wish that for all women, that they get to the point in their lives where they say the exact same thing, So, but anyway, I gotta go pick up my baby, get home, cook supper, wash dishes, try to locate our lost clothes. We are losing things at an alarming rate, and then they just show back up. So I don't know if we have some kind of, I don't know what's going on. There was a watch that just appeared on a table one day that's been missing for months, and nobody had it, or at least nobody will admit to having it. And I had looked through my daughter's room because she's like a little magpie, and she really did not have it. So we don't know where this watch has been or how it got there because nobody claims to have put it there. So I don't know what's going on in her house. But anyway, so anyway, that's, this is what happens when I go on the weird side of YouTube and then I get all, I don't know, I guess self-righteous. I don't know. I guess I'm a hypocrite about that, but I don't care. That's how I feel. So anyway, long story short, that's my long rambly video, about, how, we should love ourselves more, and men too. We should all love ourselves for who we are, and we shouldn't change for other people. We should do what we feel is right for us. And I have now rambled 18 minutes about that. So anyway, I'll see you guys later. Love y'all. Blessed be.